teacher, my teacher, your teacher, their teacher. We can refer to teachers as someone maybe when we were in our school, school life, in our schools, in our colleges, in our life itself. There is another quality of a real teacher which can be known only by advanced students. This quality can be called by various names. You may call it abundance or depth. This quality shows that the teacher is not a shallow or one-faceted being, but that he is